Make sure we live up in here. Let's see. Yep, should be live.
Yeah, we're live.
All right.
Yeah, we're live.
What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, asked for another one-on-one. We got more coming. I'm here with a special guest for this evening. We got the one and only from the Iron Lords podcast, Lord Gaming Addict. What's up, my brother?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Bit?
I'm doing good, bro.
You know, there's another Bit out there. I always have to I call you the Bit I know, and I call the other Bit the Bit Cognito knows.
Yeah, shout out to I think it's Bad Bit you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Bad Bit.
Mr. Bad Bit. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we definitely got some stuff we want to talk about. Definitely gonna be a cool, chill show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Go hit that like button, share it out. Let's get more people in here. Let's have some fun. So the 23rd, man. The 23rd is almost upon us. You know what I'm saying?
What's the 23rd?
Oh, that's Microsoft's, you know, or I'm sorry. What King would say, Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer's day of redemption.
Soon to be Aurelius. You got to get it right, man. You got to get it right.
I got to get it right. It has to be Aurelius. Well, listen, he has a lot to do.
I have like green screen. I'm gonna turn it green just for that, man. Just for that. You probably can't see. Oh yeah, you could see it. You can see it a little bit. My wall turned green.
Well, they got a lot. They got a lot to showcase for us to go, blow our minds. But on the 23rd, that is the show that's supposedly going to change our perspective. And they have a lot of stuff to show us. Now, granted, we still have not, we're still waiting for the big announcements, right? I know you saw Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Did you think that was impressive at all, the gameplay?
It's exactly what I expected. I mean, they've showed since Origins that's how their game's going to look from now on. So, and then people say it looks like The Witcher. It's like, I mean, I guess
it does with the horse combat, and it looks more like The Witcher now.
I mean, but Odyssey really had that too. It had horses and stuff like that. Maybe it wasn't like as down to physics as that one is, but like they've been going that direction from the start. It's just the scenery in Valhalla is a little bit closer to The Witcher than, being in Greece and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I don't know. They didn't really show nothing crazy mythological, right? In terms of like bosses or anything like that they were fighting.
I think they're probably saving that for, the actual game.
Think Odin, maybe Thor.
Well, I mean, you didn't fight Zeus or anything like that in the other one, so I don't think you're going to fight the gods, but you'll definitely fight like the mythical creatures.
Mythical creatures. So
I couldn't tell you, man. Yeah. I could not tell you. Hold on. Is it Nord?
That's what made the last one really, really good. The whole mythological creatures. Even the Griffin looked insane for what it was.
All right,
on
so
the console.
There's a shit ton of mythical creatures. The Drog, it's zombies pretty much.
I can see that, yeah. That's
golden dwarfs.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's elves, obviously. Finra, the giant dog,
yeah, the wolf. Yeah, that's Loki's son. Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually quite a bit. There's a giant troll. Look, the Kraken's in it.
Doubt we'll fight a Kraken.
I mean, I don't know.
Kraken? You think Ubisoft can give you a Kraken fight? I doubt it.
I mean, it just depends on how they do it. I mean,
you're on these small battle boats. You're not even like on those.
But,
huge ones.
They don't have to make it like a sea combat thing. Like it could be one of those things where it's attacking you, like close to shore.
Wouldn't that take kind of the fun out of it, though? I mean, like, he's in the water, you're on land.
If they physically can't make the fight in the water, if they want the Kraken, they have to do something else.
Hey, I guess. Oh, for everybody saying Ghost of Tsushima, you already know. I got my samurai shirt on. We ready? Oh, best believe. We getting lit for that. Can't wait for that. It's a few more days. So, I see you guys in the chat saying that Ghost of Tsushima.
And the Valkyries are in there, too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see their approach to Valkyries. I think God of War nailed the Valkyries for sure. That was like the best battles in the game. All right, so there's that. But to go into the actual show, what are you expecting to be shown here? I know you hear a lot of stuff. Again, inside sources, people who said this stuff, or stuff that was just we kind of already talked about, right? It was kind of like hinted about numerous times, and we just never got context to until later on. But what do you think's gonna be here? At this point, Fable is like the worst kept secret, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I've been told by multiple people Fable's going to be there. I've even been told by someone that they've seen what they're going to show. They wouldn't go into any details like that because obviously the people are real selective what they tell you. But the thing is if Fable is not there, to me it's an automatic L. Automatic
Really?
L. I don't
Without
care what else they show. If the only way they make up for Fable is if they show the best Halo I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's probably their backup plan because we're hearing reports that the Initiative's game's not going to be here.
Yeah, but then again, people have been known to give false narratives out to surprise people, but I don't think the Initiative is going to be here either. But the biggest thing is what they open with and they close with, because I think there's two scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
There is, if they close with Halo, show's going to be ass automatically. Show's going to be ass because if you're showing with the title that that would get people hyped to end the show with, that means you didn't have any faith in anything in between or the beginning. So I think there's two scenarios. Well, there's three scenarios technically. There's the scenario where the show's ass because Halo's showed last. Now, if that's shown last, I do think we're going to get like subpar games. You know what I'm saying? Because you saved that last spot for like a mic to drop moment, and if you're giving that to Halo,
they
it's
said
not
mic
good.
drop moments was going to be in this show. So
There's the second scenario where Halo's opened and Fable's closed. So I think that's a good scenario. And then there's the third scenario. So how you're going to see my reaction change depending on what they open with. If they open with Fable, I don't know what the fuck they closing with. Oh, can I cuss on this show?
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, I don't know what they're gonna close it with, because if you think about it, if they open the game with Fable, I doubt none of these scenarios besides the show being trash, they're gonna close with Fable. I mean Halo. So if they open with Fable, I think like in the middle of the show they're going to show Halo. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna end it with maybe Obsidian's new IP. It just depends on what game. Part of me doesn't think they're gonna end it with Fable because it's like you said, it's a worst kept secret. Why would you show something that no one knows when you could show something like Obsidian's new game that literally no one knows about? So if they open with Fable, you're gonna hear me fangirl the hell out, and I said fangirl because my voice gonna be high pitched.
Hey, look. So Fable, Perfect Dark. That's another one that's been going around.
Not gonna be there. That's not gonna be there.
Yo, think so? Perfect Dark. So you think the highlights are going to be Fable more likely and just the Halo gameplay? One thing about the gameplay, I've been hearing reports about that saying they're going to show like not necessarily gameplay. It was like reports going around that they were just going to show like a trailer for the story or something like that.
Of what?
Of Halo. Like a trailer.
I've been told there's going to be a lot of stories. Like
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a small thing they do. Like, obviously that could be wrong because when it comes to people telling you anything, you always have to take it with a grain of salt. But
like
I would
yesterday.
I wouldn't expect like just like a sizzle reel of shit. I'd expect a well thought of. I don't think. For some reason, to me, I don't think multiplayer is going to be there. I think they're gonna end the Halo segment with, and after the show, multiplayer beta is going to be available, or sometime at the end of the month or the beginning of next month, you'll be able to download the multiplayer beta so they can fine tune how the game needs to be played by the actual release date of the game.
Yeah. Shit, after yesterday there was reports going around that Sony was going to reveal the pre-orders, and I'm like.
People were smoking some crazy shit.
I said this like 40 times. Like, guys, you're not going to get pre-orders today. Pre-orders are not going to happen for Microsoft or Sony until like what, August? That's when you're going to get them. You're not going to get all that stuff. You're going to get that later on. Now, a lot of people really thought they were going to do it. I'm like, Ghost of Tsushima drops in like 3 days. Why would they do that in the midst of Ghost of Tsushima? This is their week for Ghost of Tsushima. That has to come later. And common sense should have just came into play there. But hey, these dudes with these, you know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing is is what is going on with third party at this event. Is it going to be new like world premiere third party stuff? So I'm kind of curious on that. I do know that Microsoft's taking the WB accusation very seriously. So if they win that bit, that's beyond me and you. That's a lot of money. But I do know that if Microsoft was able to get their hands on that I honestly think that Microsoft as a studio would be complete. I don't think they would have to go out and buy anymore. I think that would be enough.
Yeah.
But $4 billion is a lot of money. I don't know if they're willing to put that kind of bread down.
Yeah, WB Games is like one of the main studios, right? That's like in the limelight right now. A lot of people think they're gonna see Batman here or something like that. Maybe.
I don't think we're gonna see Batman because there is that DC event.
Save for DC even?
Apparently, there's some DC event that's not necessarily for the games. It's for like the comic books, and they assume that they're just going to show that at the end. And someone in your chat said, "Addict off topic. Did you get the hat?" The answer to that is no. But it's like I said, every time I go out to that mailbox and that hat is not in there, I know I've dodged another week of wearing that damn shit. So,
what has on?
I made a deal with IOP's community. I said, look, if you guys want me to wear, because for some reason people want to socialize with me with like some redneck fashion because I'm from Virginia, because I live in Virginia. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'll play along. So in the next 3 podcasts, if you guys get 300 likes every podcast, what I'll do is I'll go buy me some overalls. I was like, I'll wear the trucker hat, and I was like, and I'll wear that, man. I'll wear it.
You did not. Oh no.
But I have not got it yet, so it's another week. I don't have to deal with that.
Wow. Y'all setting up Addict. Come on, man.
Hey, it's for fun. It's for kicks. The IOP community's been really good to us. The realm's been really, really. I really appreciate everything that they come up every week. They show up with the viewership. They show up with the likes on the podcast, the super chats, the members, the Patreon members. I like to give back in any shape or form I can.
That's cool. I'm glad you guys are getting out there. Your names are blowing up. That's good. I remember you guys were real small. What was it 3 years ago? It's like 2-3 years ago. It was like a 900
there
subs.
For a while. Like what's funny is we've grown the most this year. Like it's crazy what we've grown this year because we used to start this as a Destiny podcast. And I remember Destiny. It was completely different. Like me and Cognito are the only people from the original podcast. Like the other 2 people, we had to let them go from differences in schedules and stuff like that. People weren't reliable because they knew that to work, et cetera, et cetera. And then we brought King and Solve on there, and then me and Cognito, like low key, was like, all right, go back there in the archives, get rid of all that shit. This is where the podcast starts. Like,
I mean, y'all still rocking. I'm surprised y'all still rocking Hangouts. I'm surprised.
Well, see,
I'm surprised.
Everyone abandoned Hangouts, and me and Cognito found a way to make it work for us. We have the overlay, we have the emotes. We have took a platform that was abandoned.
Yeah.
And we fine-tuned it. We fine-tuned it, and we made it have a look that's unique to us. So, we have the topic tiles. We're a very camera-centric podcast now, against my will. So we're on there too, and you can't really have the kind of look that we have without that Google Hangout layout.
True. That is true. Hey, I kill it. I do good though. I do good. I think Graphic Guy really nailed it with you guys. With your there's like a round table type of thing you guys got going with the setup. That's cool. That's good.
And then every year we'll have like the intro and stuff changed.
Oh, so you're gonna so you are gonna upgrade it every year, the logo.
Yeah, we'll upgrade it. Right now we're talking with Graphic God now about making reactions and stuff look nice. So. Because now people want us to react to everything. But I'm sorry, we're not reacting to Ubisoft. We're not reacting to EA. Like, look, we reacted to that horrible PlayStation conference that what's-his-name did up there. It wasn't a conference. It was pretty much a video to the developers. And more.
The Mark Cerny.
Yeah, the Mark Cerny
deep
thing.
Dive.
That's our most successful reaction. Had like 18,000 views.
Jesus. I'm not surprised. What about the PS5 reveal? No, that didn't do you
45.5.
really. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my higher ones. I mean, again, everybody was hyped for that. I wasn't even on camera. I was on camera before they would have got me. I probably would have been turned into a meme if they caught me because I literally was just like, "Holy shit, that's what it looks like." That nice. It looks like It looks like they partnered with Alienware with that design. Type of thing.
And it's bulky. Did you see how big that is? Like,
Yeah, I don't know if that's real, but if that's the case, then it is pretty damn tall compared to PS4 Pro.
well, see that factory one. If I believe anyone, it's that factory one. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't really make any assumptions until we actually get our hands on the product.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the project itself works.
Oh yeah, definitely. What's up, Nova? Everybody in the chat. I'm actually up in my comments here. He said, Ryan, you might want to change your layout to Ghost of Tsushima. Bro, I got the shirt. I got my shirt. I ain't changed nothing yet. The game ain't out yet, but I will be doing that. Lo and behold, what's up, Impatient Fire? But yeah. So Man. Expectations versus reality. I had to get Lord Addict on this one because, what you think about these next-gen consoles, man? Do you think these consoles are even going to get their full use of power out the box or anything of that nature? Do you think we're going to be going down the same road?
I don't think no one's doing that for a while. It's one of those things where it's like, we just had the developer that made Gears Tactics. He's been in the industry a little bit. And he just told us, he's like, look, at the end of the day, first off, these first-gen dev kits aren't really what you see towards the end of it. Towards the end of every generation. And he's like, and they were made so far in the early process of the the consoles being made that, that's why throughout the years of a generation, that's why you see games look better, regardless of physics, et cetera, et cetera. So, sure, there are certain games that I think from a CPU standpoint that couldn't do from the previous console. Like, for instance, I don't think something like Dead Rising 3 could have worked on the 360. But I do think, because he did bring up in that we've never had a generation this close to hardware. We've not had a generation that's this easy to scale, because PC gaming's gotten so big in the past 8 to 10 years. So devs have really honed in on how to really scale everything as best as they can. Like, I don't know if people realize this, but like at the beginning of the Xbox One, it was dry. Like, it was one of those things where you were put on a pedestal if you had an Xbox One and PS4 game.
Well, they had a better lineup, but it was
PS4 game.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about third party everyone. I'm talking about everyone.
Third party. Yeah, definitely third party.
Like, I remember they were making Madden for the 360 and stuff for like 4 years, it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's very few games that's actually next gen only. Even Titanfall, it came out a little late, but it was on last gen.
Yeah, that's true. So I wonder what's I mean, they're confirming a lot of games are getting the, I guess, smart delivery or cross-gen upgrade type of thing where you buy it on the current systems right now. You get them upgraded for PS5, Series X. Kind of makes you wonder. I'm guessing the first game that's truly going to showcase it is probably Dying Light 2. Do you think? Probably Dying Light 2?
Oh, Dying Light 2, there's a lot of things that don't make sense about that game. I don't know what's going on with Dying Light 2.
I mean, they canceled it completely for this gen, for next gen. So I'm guessing they did it strictly for the power.
Dying Light 2, they canceled Xbox One and PS4's generation?
It's not coming for PS4 or Xbox One. It's a while ago they announced that. It wasn't.
I never seen PS4. That.
Yeah, it's not coming to PS4 or Xbox One. That's going strictly to next gen.
Good.
And if I remember correctly, that one was confirmed to be 60, frames per second. So
that's probably why they did it. Probably ran too hiccupy for that, so they probably wanted to make sure it was only on next gen. I mean, it's like there's just certain games that you could really tell that took advantage of next gen hardware, and for a couple years we're not going to see it from third party. We'll see. Obviously, Xbox is choosing this weird ass, we're not having anything for the first couple years, and what it really is their entire business plan now is revolved around Game Pass, and they don't want to tell people who subscribe to Game Pass that yo, you got to get an Xbox One X, Series X to take advantage of this game in Game Pass. They don't want to do that yet. They want to build up to people. They want to gloat that this game looks better and get people to transfer over than having an exclusive game. But I have been told that like they're not just doing a basic like upgrade, like res up. Like these games, especially first party wise, they're gonna run significantly better on the Series X.
Oh yeah, we know that on both. They're gonna run really really good. They're gonna look great on both the visuals and
what I like a full blown experience that, because I don't care what people say now. There might be a standpoint from certain games. Anything could be scalable if the design was already made with a lesser hardware and design.
Right.
So when you make if these games that's making, let's say, anything's scalable because they already had the design point that we have to make this for the Xbox One X or the Xbox One. But if you start a development cycle with we're only making stuff for the Xbox Series X and the PS5, I do think that you see a difference in games because you can make the game with a lot more open available to you because you're not scaling it down whatsoever.
Right, you're letting it go all out. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the case with anything at launch this gen because I think that the Spider-Man thing, I think that could run on the PS4, but they really want a stand-up title to go on the PS5, so they're going to go ahead and just go ahead and knock that off and just make it a PS5, which that's a good PS5 launch title. Now, regardless if it's standalone, that's besides the fact it's still a big title such as Spider-Man, one of the biggest.
All that is a big tease. All that is a tease to get you into part 2 further. That's all it is. It's like part A, part B type of story going into it.
When it comes to that scenario, I do feel like it's a little spit in the face because for one moment I don't think that game can't run on the PS4, and I do think if it's a standalone. So like I low key's like, why not put that on the PS4? I get it, it's making an appeal, but I've never seen a console manufacturer put a standalone as a title a launch title like this. Like it's crazy. I've never seen it, and I assume it's going to be $40. I assume it's going to be $40, but we'll have to see.
I doubt it'll be 16 either, unless they do something special with it, like they're planning to do like a custom console launch, like how Microsoft did with Halo 3 with the 360 when it first came out. Remember that? Maybe they'll do something like that with the game. I'm not sure, but
I would have preferred, personally, I would have preferred them to have put the Miles collection, the Miles and the Spider-Man for the PS4, and put it together and let you buy that for $60 on the PS5.
Oh, like an ultimate pack type of thing.
Yes, and they're both together. But when you load up the game, it lets you pick between the original Spider-Man 4, whatever the original Spider-Man from 2017, I think, isn't that when it came out, or 18?
Yeah.
It lets you pick between that and Miles, but it does give you the option to play both. With the upgraded resolution, the new features, the 60 frames. Like I would like that. Then that's my only issue. It's not the fact that Spider-Man. I just don't like the fact that they're trying to put. I think they're trying to put too much on a standalone DLC.
Well, they have more games than that. That's more likely going to be at launch. You have Ratchet and Clank that's going to more likely be there at launch.
Going to be at launch. I don't think Ratchet and Clank making launch title.
I think it made it. It was already in alpha. It's already ready to roll. They're just putting the final touches on it. If any game I don't think is going to be there is Horizon.
I feel like the reason that they did not put titles on any of these games when they're coming out is because I honestly think that Sony don't even know if these games are going to make launch because of this whole virus thing going on.
CV virus. Okay.
Because, I mean, if you look at it, it makes no sense that your event wasn't that long ago. It was like, 3 weeks ago? That's when their event was?
Yeah.
So
4 weeks ago,
if your console's coming out in 3 months, why don't you just announce what the launch titles are? Because they literally don't know what's going to make it and what's not going to make it.
Yeah, I think they are still trying to catch up because they got one more show that's going to be.
To me, there's literally no reason to hold those games back if they've already announced them. There's no reason not to show a release date unless they don't know if it's going to make the release date.
Yeah, I think they're saving all, like, right now, from what I'm looking at, it's like Microsoft and Sony are playing like an extreme game of chicken and are like trying to wait each other out for prices in terms of like the systems and everything. That's the reason why Sony kind of, if you look at their approach to their show, not only did they show the console, controller, charger, they showed off the new headset, the new camera. They showed it all in like one line, but you notice there's no price points, right? Like, it's like,
I think in the next 30 days, you're going to see everything from both.
they literally got all that out the way, just like boom. Like,
and the next,
this was
because I think next Thursday they're about to they're announcing the release date.
Yeah,
I think they're going to announce the price and the release date Thursday.
Yeah, I heard. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I heard reports going around that Spider-Man Miles was like what 5 hours, 10 hours, something like that.
Depends on how if you're like one of those errand boys, and you go collect all the book bags on the road, you could probably get 9 to 10 hours from it.
Yeah, so it's open world. I really want to see how fast the combat. That's really what the improvement's going to be, like how fast the web swinging is from the first one, all that. What they do, going for it. What do you think? What do you think Microsoft can do to combat this? I know a lot of people put in Halo, but let's say something aside from Halo.
They can do to combat it. There's nothing they can do to combat it.
Nothing?
There's no game that's going to be ready to come out in that window. The only game they have is Halo. At the end of the day,
Hellblade 2 got any fire to push anything later down the road when it comes?
Are we talking about launch or?
Well, I mean, you could say launch. I just threw it out there, like future down the road type of thing, like for that one.
It's just like I think Microsoft and Sony are going for two entirely different gamers. I think Microsoft realized because I think Initiative is making the Sony template games. The third-person action adventure with a bunch of set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Microsoft knows they can't win that. They can't. There's no way they can win that. So I think they're going to hit you with time instead of a really good 15-hour thing. I think they're going to make that. That's why they bought Exile, because Exile makes games like Wasteland 3 that you could spend 30 to 60 hours. They bought Obsidian with Outer Worlds. They're making a sequel. Apparently they have another game down that we might see that other game at this event. They have, and then they have the Hellblades, which we'll have to see how Hellblade does. It is impressive what Ninja Theory did with Hellblade on the budget they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious on how they're going to evolve that brand.
I mean, it was pretty much known for being an indie game last time, right? Like, it had a really, really small budget. They used actual actors to do most of the scenes, and you just had gameplay. If they're going to, and I think that's what kind of made it unique, right? With that particular style. You don't think they'll continue with that style, or you think they'll just go with the traditional cinematics of every other game? Now they got the budget.
I think they'll ramp everything up that they did. I think they're going to ramp up the mocap that they did. I think they're going to probably hire actual combat writers and stuff that actually can make good cinematic combat. And I think we're going to see more of an action Hellblade than last time, because in case you ain't noticed, like I'm not really a big fan. I got a lot of issues when it comes to surround sound games like that. I can't play stuff like that. So
oh wow. That was one of the best things about it. That's why you have good headphones.
You can't play. No,
well, man, you had a problem with her whispering in your ear like, he's over there.
Look, man, I'm trying to combat my own voices. I ain't trying to hear hers talking to mine. Like, it ain't happening.
I mean, Atreus did in God of War. He goes, "Look out, Father! You're in all the games." I'm saying that's was part of the mystique.
Ravenflow said Hellblade isn't a console seller. It isn't, but we'll have to see what a big budgeted Hellblade is. So, I know a lot of people sleep on Compulsion, and I think Compulsion is going to surprise a lot of people.
What was the last game? Compulsion? I'm trying to remember.
That's We Happy Few's developer.
Oh, We Happy Few Dev.
But there was a lot of circumstances that made We Happy Few. They almost went out of business a couple times during the We Happy Few thing. People don't realize how much a budget. They switched in We Happy Few. They switched up the structure of the game twice because they had to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys you remember in We Happy Few how they all had the masks on and stuff.
Yeah,
they were on that Joy. They had the mask on. Well, in We Happy Few's DLC, those were designed for a narrative focus. They weren't designed for survival anymore. because at that point they decided what they wanted to do. And so what ended up happening is, you know, the last DLC to that game. Remember at the very first trailer they showed We Happy Few, you was hitting that rat. Remember the joy wore off and they were hitting a pinata. They were hitting a rat.
Yeah.
Well, you know how the chick that was like, "You're off your joy," and she flipped out.
Yeah.
Well, she ends up coming off her joy and she burns the whole city down.
Mm.
And you're playing as her in the last expansion.
Okay.
And you're trying to talk everyone to not eating joy, because people are starving in that game. They're literally starving, but the joy is making them not care.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the game. I think that people are sleeping on it because they made a We Happy Few that was a bad game, which, you know, it was a below average game. I wouldn't say it's like a bad game. It was still fun if you like those type of games, but
yeah.
They're making narrative focused game. I can almost guarantee you they're gonna make a narrative third person game. I just don't know what type it is.
I don't know if you remember, there was not really reports. This wasn't even like hinted at by any particular studio or anything like that of that nature. But a lot of people in the community believe that Microsoft was going to put Cyberpunk into Game Pass day and date. You remember that? That was going around. A lot of people believed that and was like going, yeah, this is their like secret weapon against Sony day one and all that. And they confirmed that to be false. They have no plans for Game Pass. What's your thoughts on this? Like, I know you.
I think that's cap. They're going to eventually. I would say within 3 to 6 months, it will be in Game Pass. 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, but they talking about day and date, day one.
I never knew that shit was good. I knew that was never day one.
Yeah, I don't think any studio would really go day and date.
To be honest with you, the people that thought that they had a reason to think that, they're delaying the game for no reason. And then they delayed it to November for no reason. And what do we think's probably coming out in November? The Series X. So I mean, I think
it's a deal.
Was there. The proof in the pudding was there will make you think that was going on.
I think
I
just
the
deal.
Never thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was just a deal. Like, for example, a custom Xbox Series X with the game day one type of thing. You know, something different, something like a deal. But for what I'm looking at, the game is losing content or losing a lot of context to a lot of scenes. Like, I don't know if you noticed that. Like, the wall running was supposedly gone.
That happens in every game, though. I bet you if you talk to developers behind closed doors, they toss a lot of stuff like that out of the game at the last moment. It's these last
scenes, though. I mean, it's like customization, something you're supposed to be, you know, champion for this. You're taking on the third person scenes.
What it is we're finding out stuff they took out of it because they're being open with this. Most developers are not open like that. They do not tell you what was in the game that they took out for performance issues.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Ubisoft, Watch Dogs. I'll give you that. So, what do you think is next, though, for them? I know. Again, everybody's hyped going to this event. We talked about Halo. We talked about Forza. Or no, we didn't talk about Forza, but I'm pretty sure Forza is going to be a launch game for them for sure.
No, that's going to be next year.
Forza?
Yeah, I bet you it's going to be January, February, maybe even early March. It's not. I don't think it's coming out launch.
You don't think?
I think it'll be. I think it'll be at this event, but I don't think it's going to be there at launch.
Wow. See, I don't know.
Well,
man.
I know for a fact that a lot of games are getting delayed. People don't know it yet, but in the next 6 months, this whole virus thing has probably set the entire industry back a year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because if you look at it, Call of Duty don't even have a release date.
True.
So that might get delayed, because it's really, this thing is hurting people more than people think. I know for a fact that they at one point in time they had almost 1,400 people working on Halo. So because they took we have to hire subcontractors and pull people off other projects to make sure that our bread and butter is coming out with our bread and butter.
Damn. So so if that's the case, we're not gonna get the games at launch. I mean, what do you really think is gonna be a system seller aside of Halo? I mean, granted, they said Halo is gonna be the biggest part of the show,
Halo
right?
If Halo is what they're hyping and Halo is what I've been told, that's all they'll need. But it just depends on what Halo is. an amazing Halo is all you need at a launch, but we have to see if it is that. If it's an average Halo, like the past couple has been, they're gonna definitely need something else. I'm thinking that Compulsion's game might be there. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I saw shout out to Kid Smooth. I saw Smooth pretty much lose it yesterday on Twitter. I think he said something about Xbox dudes being treated like third class citizens over games. Did you see his tweet? Did you see his tweet? I mean, I warned him before. He didn't want to listen. I just said, listen, hey, look, it is what it is at this point. If it happens, it happens. Like,
at the end of the day, first off, they need to build a fan base. The PC. I don't think it. My issue isn't even that. My issue is they get the same features that we get, and they don't have to pay the Xbox Live.
That is a big shot to the face.
I don't give two shits. I got a PC. I got a PC right here. So if I want to play that games, it's right here. I don't have to boot this up. It's right here. So, we'll have to see. Like I'm playing Wasteland 3. That's going to be a co-op game. I'm gonna have to play like 3 playthroughs of that damn game. Yeah. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a huge RPG fan and I'm a huge turn-based fan, and that's what Microsoft's giving me right now. Yeah. I really enjoyed Gears Tactics. I think if for people that watched IOP last week, I had a huge issue with the way that they did side missions and stuff in it. But I loved the game. It was still worth the buy for me. Wasteland 3. I'm pretty sure I'm going to love that game too. I didn't mind Minecraft Dungeons. Is it a game that I'm going to play for the rest of my life? No, but it's still a fun game. Like, if you give me a good Fable, like a great Fable, I think that a correct Fable with changes to make it more mainstream can be one of can get the Xbox brand and the ecosystem where it should be.
Yeah.
Because I think Fable needs to be dark. I think as much as people like the humor shit that's in Fable, I think that needs to go. Because I've never seen Fable for the British humor. I've seen Fable for the world building and the choices you make in the game. That's what I've seen Fable for. And I think if they go that direction where they amp those products up and they take everything else out and they make it look more realistic, and this game's got to look crisp. It's got to look one of the best games that they've ever made. And I think Fable will do well. Obsidian's always done good. Obsidian, that's what kills me is a lot of people, they will go into this place. They'll go into this PlayStation thing. And it's like, I don't know why a lot of PlayStation fanboys think just because Obsidian is working in a different environment that they're just going to all of a sudden start making bad games. Yeah. They've never made a game below an 8. Ever.
That's true.
They might have made one. But the majority of their games are always critically acclaimed.
Yeah, they're in the high 90s. Yeah.
Now, I think Ninja Theory with a correct budget is going to do well. I don't even know what Exile does. I don't know what the Wasteland games did. But, they're collecting games like that. And as long as they build these studios right, that's the thing. You have to nurture studios. Sony has done a fantastic job nurturing studios. And, who knows? Maybe in 5 to 6 years, you'll have a Ninja Theory on a Naughty Dog level. You'll have an Initiative on a Naughty Dog level. But it just depends on the management that Microsoft puts to nurture these studios.
Yeah, I actually agree. I agree with you. It's really, we're looking at this shit like glass half full type of thing, right? Because we don't really know the full picture of what's really going to be worked on, what's happening, right? Like most Undead Labs, right? Undead Labs, we don't even know if they're making another State of Decay or a new IP. Another State of Decay?
Yeah. But I think people are going to be surprised by this State of Decay.
You think they're going to be surprised?
Yes.
I hope so. I mean,
it looks everybody
everybody knew my jaw dropped with Days Gone, and when the finished product came here, I was like,
It looks like Wasteland 2, depending on it's scored depending on what platform, anywhere from 8 to an 8.5. So, you nurture these studios. Like I would personally like. I'm one of the people that people like. They like studios to be diverse, and I get that. But I want studios to nurture what they're doing. I want them to get better at what they're doing. At the end of the day, Naughty Dog's made two different IPs, but they're similar. It's because they might be in different worlds.
But
you
they're
can
two
tell
established things that are different. Yeah.
You can tell that the same studio made both of those games because of how the gameplay is.
Mm-hmm.
I want studios to be nurtured like that. I don't want Obsidian making a third-person action adventure game. I don't want that. I want them to make their RPGs, and I want them to make new worlds and new experiences. I personally feel like Halo's run its course. I love Halo. Halo's one of my favorite franchises, but I want them to kill Master Chief and Infinite. I want them to be done with that franchise.
I don't think they're going to do it.
Well, obviously they're not going to do it. They make too much money. But the problem is, look at Sony. Sony's letting their best talent make other games, and it's creating new flagship titles. Regardless how you feel about 343, it's still one of their best talent.
Oh yeah,
and they're making them make Halo over and over again. And I don't think they're going to. I would like for them to kill Master Chief and Infinite, which we know that's not going to happen, and then let them make a new IP, and then bring back Halo in like 8 years.
And just a new character, kind of like reimagined type of thing.
Just like rebrand the whole thing, like to do it like. I mean, you could even do a prequel to when the Forerunners are still alive. Have you playing as a Forerunner, fighting the Flood. There's plenty of different scenarios they can do.
Yeah. I think Bonnie Ross, I don't know. Bonnie Ross, she says she loves the franchise, but Bonnie, I don't know. Bonnie just, she doesn't seem like she's hyped for change, does she? She doesn't seem
Jamal
like that.
said 343 already make a new Halo. Where did you get that? I haven't been told they're making another Halo. They're still finishing that. I think if Halo Infinite flops, Bonnie Ross needs to go.
Oh, damn.
She's had multiple games.
Yeah.
Like, she's had multiple games. Like, apparently, I like Bonnie Ross. I got a picture of Bonnie Ross. She's a nice woman. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you ain't putting up the results, what happens in the real world? You get replaced.
You either get replaced or you step down and let somebody else have the reins type of thing. Like, I thought Amy Hennig was at the top of her profession. You know what I'm saying? When she was with Naughty Dog. And then when she left and gave the reins to Neil and Evan, right? She hasn't had another successful game since, or her game has not dropped since. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations.
I think one of the issues that Microsoft has is they make enough money off Halo and Gears to fund the whole thing. So I think that they're scared to go away from those brands. You know what I'm saying? They make a lot of money off those.
Yeah.
I do think Game Pass puts them in a particular place where they can afford to take more risks. Mm-hmm. And if they want to continue these brands, it's like I've said in the past, I know Kid does not agree with this next statement. I think it would be cool to let them flip it. Let 343 make a Gears game, and let Coalition make a Halo game. And obviously maybe not the Coalition, because I don't know what they could 343. Yeah. I think Gears in the first person world would not make sense, but I definitely think that Coalition can make a good Halo cover shooter. Like, especially like there is the very first Arbiter, he rebelled.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a general. Arbiter used to not be a negative thing. It used to be like the highest commander or close up there. And he rebelled. He killed thousands of people and tried to kill the Prophet, one of the prophets. And when they killed him, they took his position and made it a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be cool if Coalition made a game, like a 15-hour game from his perspective, with him finding out what the prophets really were up to, and it's a gory ass game, cover shooter, and I think stuff like that would be cool, but I don't think that they'll ever go to something like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I wouldn't mind to see it. I mean, it's different. It's a change of pace. It's it's fresh ideas, fresh perspective on the game. I wouldn't mind, honestly, that particular thing. They did something like that. I'm trying to think, though, if this whole buying studio thing, I don't think we're going to see the end of it anytime soon. And so I'm wondering if this WB game things is indeed happening, and they're probably looking at Batman for a superhero game.
From what I've been listening, they're very serious. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you could be serious as you want. If it's not the right price and your investors aren't going to sign off on it, you ain't buying shit.
I mean,
So,
Batman's good, but Batman does super good because he's
to
on
be honest,
every platform.
I don't want them making a Batman. If they're able to get Rocksteady, I would prefer them to go to like Marvel and make like a Black Panther game or something.
That's what
Like,
I've been lobbying for. Yeah, Black Panther, something
because
fresh.
if you can get something, I mean, if you look at the Marvel universe, they're popping way more than Batman is right now.
Oh yeah.
So you get you a good maybe Captain America, Black Panther, something like that. I want one game. I don't want a whole. I don't want an Avengers. And you make a really good, solid experience, and you make sure that that's going to be an Xbox exclusive because they need an answer to Spider-Man because they don't have anything close to that. They don't have anything close to the majority of of Sony's games, but they need to start making competitors to every one of them. I honestly think that if they could have resolved the thing they had with Rise, that could have been a good God of War stand up.
Oh,
But
Rise. It could have.
I think Rise being nurtured. I think Rise being nurtured, and it could have definitely been up there with God of War. But it's one of Microsoft's issues back then. They relied on second party people, and they at any time they can take their cookies and go home.
Yeah. Did
So
they get crazy with Battletoads? Maybe like make that realistic, the one that everybody really wanted. I'm talking about the style from Killer Instinct.
I think they'll end up. I think there's a reason we ain't heard about that game. and I think you brought that game up for a trolling thing. I know what you did. There's a reason we ain't heard from that game. I think it's going to be something that people play and bitch about, and I think it's going to be something people have a hard time against, because regardless how bad the game's going to look, if it's just as hard as the original Battletoads, it's going to be streamed a lot. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Quantum Break. Quantum Break could have been something
Quantum
good.
Break was trash.
It could have been something good if it was written.
I hated that damn game.
It didn't make sense with some of the powers. Like you had to rewind time when the door was open. I ain't like that. That was so weird.
I don't want no one working with Remedy, man. I honestly don't think they're a good studio. I really don't. Like,
okay. Yes, hear me? Can you hear me? What just happened? All right, how about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. There we go.
No clue what happened there.
Nah, I think my stream went out because my damn thing fell. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Make sure everybody's here. We back up. Okay.
Looks like we're back up.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. It happens. Discord sometimes crashes.
And that's why we don't go to Discord.
I mean, it wasn't even Discord. It said internet thing. I was like, what? My internet just dropped.
Discord has way too many issues for me even to think about going to Discord.
Oh, dog. I heard the biggest sigh from King David when he jumped on. When I said, we're going to Discord. Everybody's doing is Streamlabs. Or not Streamlabs. What's that thing called? The other...
Streamlabs. I think that's what it's called. Streamlabs.
No. The other thing that everybody uses. It's another... it's like OBS, but it's not OBS.
Shadowplay?
No. It's the... It's kind of like...
OBS.
It's kind of like Hangouts.
StreamYard. Yes.
StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard.
It's a good service. What's funny is when they first got rid of Google Hangout, if I would have had any knowledge in that field whatsoever, I would have built that website. Because I was saying, whoever cracks that code first is going to be a wealthy person.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. So, what was I back with this game? We talking about games like superhero game, right? So we were on superhero topic. Mm-hmm. So we said Batman. We said Black Panther. Everybody's been lobbying for Black Panther. That's something that'd be cool. Maybe something out the box. I mean, since the MCU is really, really popping right now, maybe maybe something like Ant-Man or something like that. Scarlet Witch, game.
I don't know if anything like that will sell well, though. To be honest with you,
I mean, I think X-Men.
I think
Somebody
I
brought that up.
think
That's a good point. X-Men could have been a good one because
I think
X-Men's
it's
about to
got to
introduce.
be. I think it's got to be one of the main Avengers.
One of the main Avengers.
Hmm
So you think Cap? Maybe
It's neither Captain
America.
America, Black Panther, or Iron Man. And I think they should stay away from Doctor Strange could possibly work, but I think they should stay away from any flying hero because those games generally are hard to make.
Hmm. Wolverine could work. Those like dark and ominous.
It definitely could. Wolverine's would be a good choice because I thought the Wolverine from the PS3 game was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. All right. Let me just get this out the way here. So I got your expectations out of the Xbox show. Again, a lot of people was like, "Oh, we need more Xbox opinions." There's an Xbox opinion. Hit that like button. Let me get your thoughts on the PlayStation show. What do you expect Sony to retaliate with, to respond with? If this show really does blow us away. I had talked to Hip Hop Gamer a couple shows ago.
A release date and the price, I don't know. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, part of me doesn't feel like they'll announce that just on the whim.
Hmm.
Like, at this point, I don't know what they would do. Like, unless they announce the release date.
You think?
Like,
I didn't ask you this, but yeah, Lockhart. You think Lockhart might be shown at this show, maybe to spice things up?
what this coming up show?
Yeah, this 23rd.
No, no.
No.
I think it's in August.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
They were
do it August.
they were originally supposed to show that last month, but they didn't.
Okay.
They pushed it back.
Okay. So that's in August. It needs to be. Well, first of all, we need to see it for sure. But if it is happening in August, then we should think 250, 300,
300.
300 for that.
Yep. I think the Series S is going to be 3 and the Series X is going to be 6.
$600?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll do 600, dog. That's too high. I think
I
five.
think the PS5 is going to be 6 too, and the digital version is going to be 5.
Oh, I don't know about that, man.
There's too much there's too much holding price information for these to be just $500. I think they both got a bad price. And they don't want to come out in a minute, so they want the other person to take the fall.
Ooh.
And I think that's the reason Sony made the digital version, because they know that they've gotten butchered over that. So they've made a way to make a $500 version too.
I mean, honestly, from what I'm looking at, I'm thinking $399 for the digital and $500 for the base. I don't think any console would be $600 because that'd just be suicide to launch at that price. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really see that.
Well, Microsoft, the Lockhart is going to. It's going to be the 300. It's going to be the 1080p, especially since you find out the clock speeds are the same. The only difference it's going to be is the resolution. So what they'll do is they'll play it at 1080p, and when it comes to something like that, their goal is the Madden people, the 2K people, the Call of Duty people, literally. Which is probably 60 to 70% of the install base. So that is what they're going to do to try to get those people. And if it is $300 and they put like a month to 3 months of Game Pass in that's an appealing price.
I mean,
and not to mention
the all access thing, where it's like a layaway type thing you pay monthly.
Yeah, I think that will work, but I think with the majority of these people, a lot of people are okay with, because that's pretty much a subscription service too, but they're taken from someone that worked at Dish, took thousands of calls. People don't like spending money monthly like that. They don't. And if they do, they only like doing it for like one subscription, like Netflix. Or that's why you see a lot of people switch from Netflix to Hulu, Hulu to Netflix, Netflix to Crunchyroll, Crunchyroll to Funimation. There's not a lot of people that just have one.
That's true.
That have more than one. And if they have more than one, they have like a bundle service. That's why you see like Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN getting bundled, because they know that they only want to pay one price. Yeah. They don't want to pay 3 different versions of the subscription. Are there going to be people that take advantage of it? Yes, I do think they are. But I think for the most part, people aren't going to want to pay that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, we're all on these subscription services, and they were already announcing them for the third party before we even got to the reveal of the systems. Like, you remember Uplay Plus from Ubisoft? They announced that. That's their subscription service. I'm guessing we'll get more down the road as options for us, and that's the case.
Talking about like the
for their
competitors,
gaming.
the Game Pass.
Well, not really competitors. I don't even consider them competitors to Game Pass. I just see them as their own separate thing to get you to get into their games.
I don't think you'll see many more pop up, if any more pop up. You got the one from Sony, which is PlayStation Now.
Mm-hmm.
You got the one from Ubisoft, which I don't know what their shit's called.
Ubisoft, you got the one Uplay Plus.
Then you got EA Access Premium, and then you got Game Pass. Like, what? Maybe if 2K makes one, but that's like the only other publisher I know that has the foundation to make a subscription service like that. I mean, like, I don't see the Capcoms and the Konamis.
I can see
and
Capcom doing it. Maybe
I don't.
You don't think so? Like an evil type of thing.
I think I think they'll make too much money, giving they shit to other people than making their own.
Ah, okay.
It's easy to be like, yo, Sony, you can have this one for 6, then we'll take it off your shit. Microsoft, you can have this one for 6 months after they get our shit for 6 months. Okay, good. Let me have $300,000 from. Well, let me have 150 mil from both of you. Like,
yeah, okay, I give you that. I mean, I already know PlayStation Now. Like, it's inevitable at this point, guys. Everybody in the chat, PlayStation Now, you're gonna see it get very, very close to Game Pass in terms of like changing the structure.
People don't realize how much money Game Pass makes.
It's gonna really get up there.
Sooner or later, Sony, clearly Sony wants that money because they did the download thing.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, first I think what will end up happening is they'll end up putting all of their stuff in there, but just not the day and date stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a few months after. Yeah.
And then what will end up happening is after a couple months to a couple years of doing that, then they'll eventually do day and day. It just depends on what competition's doing at that time. If Microsoft comes out and they bomb this whole generation like they bombed this generation, then Sony ain't doing none of that shit. Sony will do exactly what Sony's doing right now. But if Microsoft actually is a competitor, you're going to see Sony jump through hoops to keep the install base they have.
Yeah.
Because as much as you don't like right now, you can talk all the shit you want about Microsoft because Microsoft has allowed that narrative to go this whole generation. But Microsoft is slowly taking away the key components that put them in that spot. They bought the studios to get rid of the talk that Microsoft got no games. They upgraded their system to Microsoft got the shittiest system. If they get the games settled, which it's actually not a hard thing to do, but for some reason it's hard. So if they get that settled and Obsidian starts making great games, Ninja Theory starts making great games, like, you don't have to have something up there where Naughty Dog is. You don't have to have the 90 plus things every time. But if every one of your studios starts knocking out 85 plus games, it's going to matter. If every 3 months, if every month you get a AA game that's a good game, fun, the next month you get another AA game that's good, that's fun, then the third month you get a AAA game, 85, 90 plus, like, that's going to matter. Yeah. And then that's when Game Pass is going to start really mattering, because it's not a time of whether or not if Sony's making all this money. Okay, Sony is making all this money, but if Microsoft starts making good games and they're in that Game Pass, and everyone's jumping on that Game Pass instead of paying all that money, Sony's gonna have to compete. Because at the end of the day, it's so easy to go into a GameStop and say, what a lot of people will go to a GameStop, they'll only have a budget. I only got $500. What can I do that's best for my buck? And I'm sorry, but even if you get a Series X, let's say it's $600, they only got $600. Well, I only have $600. Let's say they're both the same price. Let's say the second iterations, they're both $5. Let's just say they're $5 even at the beginning. And they're like, what is best for me? What's a good game? They're gonna say, well, we have this Game Pass that you get Halo for free at the gate. You get Obsidian's new game for free at the gate. You get Hellblade 2 for free at the gate. Yeah, like, that's gonna matter, because you can literally just buy the console Go home and play 5 or 6 of their best games like that, like nothing. You don't have to pay for anything. And if you want to put more money, you can buy more accessories. It's going to matter. But the problem with Game Pass right now is they're rolling off mid-tier games and third-party games. But if they get their first-party games right, then they're going to have the whole package.
Yeah, that's definitely some time off, though. That's for sure. That's what we got to wait on. But, yeah, I agree. It's always stuff in there that's like, I call it shovelware because we've seen it already. You know what I'm saying? It's already been in PlayStation Plus, already been Xbox Live Gold, you know, like those free games. It was never really anything that blew us away that made us go, hey, buy me. You know, it wasn't nothing like that. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. They could. Once the big, insane stuff drops on there, they'll have more of a stake, you know?
It's like, you know, look how relevant it was when the Outer Worlds got put on Game Pass day and date. People talked about that game for like 2 weeks. It got like an 86, 87 on Metacritic. Imagine the quality of that type of game every time. If Microsoft can do that, it's going to be competition. They don't have to get the games that Naughty Dog has. I think Initiative is making that game. But if they hit you with enough great games and not that amazing game, people will say, yo, I'm going to get the PlayStation for this amazing game. Right. But I fuck with Xbox because they feed me all year long. Like...
Hey, we'll see, man. I don't know. It's what you're thinking. I got my fingers crossed going into the show. I'm really hoping for something good. Shout out to the Ravenflow, $5 super chat. He says Microsoft needs exclusives to be out of the equation as to why people buy consoles. Once it's down to specs, they're in a better position. Smart plan.
Well, see, what they're doing is they want people, because the majority of people can't afford to go out and buy both consoles, and they do eventually buy both consoles, but it's not at the same time. They want people to be able to. Game Pass is gonna sell more Xbox units than exclusives ever did, because when you could go into a console and let's say that they start bundling the Xbox Series S with Madden. Go in there for $300, get Madden, and get 3 months of Game Pass and walk out for $300. You can't get that on the competition. And for the people who don't think the casuals care about that shit, they do. Casuals won't spend much money. They'll spend all the money in the world when it comes to their free mobile app games. But when you ask them to put money in at the start to play it, that's when they have issues.
That is true.
There's a reason Call of Duty sells most every year.
Yeah, it's an interesting point about what Phil says. He's quoting Phil. He said, Phil said exclusives are anti-consumer. How come they're not on PS5, Addict?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think he is talking more about the Spider-Man thing. I think he was more referring to that. He's like, he definitely should have quoted himself a little bit better.
He does that
or had a little bit more thought process behind his statement before he said it. He was mainly saying, look, if the game can run on our console, we're going to make sure it's there. Right now, that's why we've built our games to run on both consoles. But if a game can run on the previous console, we're going to make sure it's there. And I think he was mainly taking a shot at PlayStation for Spider-Man, because it's not a world where Spider-Man doesn't run on the PS4. I think Ratchet & Clank's a little different. I think it probably only can run on the PS5. I don't know.
That's only PS5 with the load times, and they demonstrate with the level pop and everything. Yeah.
But besides that, Spider-Man definitely can only run on the can run on the PS4.
We gotta see the gameplay. That's the thing. I mean, it looks like it could, but I
can only go off what I've seen.
Yeah, we haven't really seen gameplay. We just saw that.
And from what I've seen, it definitely looks like it. There's no world it can't run on the PS4, and I think that's mainly what he was talking about. He was talking about, we're not doing that, and I think, Microsoft's not in the scenario where they can. Series X has Medium and Storm. Those are second party stuff. I don't know if you were taking a shot at it, but that's besides the point. So, Microsoft's not in the scenario that Sony is. Sony can literally do whatever they want because they got a lot of people that fuck with their brand because of the games they've made, and they've justified their position where they are. Microsoft does not have that position. They've revived themselves through Game Pass. And imagine reviving yourself through Game Pass. You're literally the phoenix coming out of the ashes, and you're a little baby phoenix, man. You're a baby phoenix, and you're just like, do I want to die again? Because I literally just sold this Game Pass to all these console people, do I want to die again because Halo's the next gen title only, and they have to upgrade, take advantage of Game Pass? It's not gonna happen.
I mean, they're eventually gonna. I mean, shit, they're already discontinuing Xbox One, right? They're not making any more, so it's pretty much done.
See, but a lot of their revenue's Game Pass. And you know how many people would be pissed if they go to download Game Pass and they're like, and there's like an X that pops up. You need the Series X to play this. I say what? Like I've been subscribed to this forever. You say what? Like they'd be pissed. Like I honestly think there should have been one game that is just Series X, but it's like I told you at the beginning of the podcast. I'm not going to completely flip shit. And you can look at the IOP. I'm definitely not for not having an experience, because I was talking to people in the community and I was like, okay, explain what's the first game you bought when you took that Xbox One home? And they said Rise. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why'd you get Rise? It's like it was used to sell the platform. But you know, I'm not gonna act like there's a lot of games like that, because there's not. How many games was only on PlayStation 4 and Xbox when it first came out? Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a lot of titles, but those titles help sell the units in the long run. But I think that they're relying on Game Pass to do what the exclusive used to do, because people love exclusives, but people love saving money way more. Let's be real.
Yeah. All right, I give you that for sure. I give you that. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. I'm asking one more question. That's pretty much it. Told y'all, man, these 101s go by fast. He was all nervous when he jumped on here. Addict. You know how he be. No, that's Iron Lords for you. Let's see here. What was my last question? Let me find it. So what are your expect? Oh, no, we talked about that. So
on the event,
do you see? Nah, we already talked about that. I think we did.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say for the people that saying temper your expectations with this, no, fuck that.
Yeah, I agree.
This event, if there is not a reason to be excited about any event, it's this event. I have my expectations 10.
I do too.
Because
yeah.
They only got this event. For the most part, they only have this event. And if you're not going to be excited for the next gen event for Microsoft after a few years ago buying a bunch of studios, are we going to next E3? Hell no. Like there's no reason to temper your expectations.
It's going to be interesting seeing your reactions to this. I'm pretty sure y'all live streaming it, right?
Yeah, we'll live stream.
So we'll rewind that back when we see your reaction. Let's hope. Let's hope it's good.
And this week we're going to be doing a prediction show with Kid Smooth, Ghost, and Tim Dog's going to be on the prediction show. So.
Okay, nice. Shout out to Smooth. I saw.
I don't think I was supposed to tell the guests, because Cognito usually does that. I'll probably get jumped on a little bit for that, but it'll be okay.
Oh, you ain't gonna survive though. They'll come for your knees for that one.
It'll be okay.
I don't know about that, but okay. So, do you see yourself later on? Do you see yourself making the jump to PC fully through this generation?
I've already jumped to PC fully.
I'm talking about completely. Well, not fully. You're not fully. You're more on Xbox still.
Well, no, I'm more on PC.
I thought you were still on Xbox. You play. Well,
I play Destiny. I play Xbox when I jump over there to play games with Kid, but that's all. Like,
oh, so you already left.
When they have 60 frame modes, and when Destiny's 60 frames, I'll be on Series X. I'm still buying the Series X because that's where my friends are. And when God of War or maybe a Bloodborne 2 comes out, that's when I'll buy a PlayStation. But I'm not one of these people that's gonna buy a console because they're going to have stuff. Like, I buy a console when they have shit. I wouldn't have bought a Switch so early, but they had Zelda at launch, and I didn't have a Wii U. I guess I could theoretically stay on the console I have now, but I have a Series S. I'm not playing shit on this next gen. Like, it's not happening. I have an Xbox One S. I'm not using this anymore.
I don't know, man. You already know I talked to Blaze and talked to everybody about this. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air at this point. It's like we've talked about this numerous times. We both know we got capable systems, right? Very capable systems. And with the reports going around that, games are running at 30 and more likely devs might actually still target resolution instead of performance. I don't know, man. I don't know about you guys, but This right here is looking a lot more appealing. Shout out to Danny, but I already know Danny knows I'm about the show. That's looking a lot more appealing.
We'll just have to see. The biggest thing that we have to really look forward to is just these games, man. Like, let me ask you a question. What do you need for this? What do you need
For Xbox show?
For this Xbox show?
Just give me the true incentive, Give me a reason why I should take you serious next year.
No, you ain't copping that out. What do you need?
Oh,
what
do I need? So
I don't want that cop out shit, man. I need words that I can screen cap and come at you later. Like, what do you need?
All right. So y'all already know this. Everybody in the chat knows this. I'm not really that big of a Halo guy. Forza doesn't really do anything for me. Perfect Dark probably would be a nice start. What I really want, though, and ironically, Sega was looking for a developer for this game like 4 or 5 years ago or 4 years ago, and this game never got a chance to get revived, and that's Jet Set Radio Future 2. They're looking for a publisher for that. Microsoft never jumped on it and capitalized. That'd be great if we saw Jet Set Radio Future come back home to Xbox and be like, like a big surprise. That'd be dope. In terms of other games, I would love to see more aggressive nature from them in terms of like securing a superhero type of character to push the genre and push their company. I mean, again, Sony has Spider-Man to push them as a whole, right? That's their mascot. It's one of their mascots. Microsoft definitely needs a mascot for Xbox. Like, there's just no denying that at this point. So if the Batman reports are true, that we could see Batman. That would be cool to see Batman be
one of the issues that Xbox had this generation is they never had a new flagship. Like, I consider Horizon as Sony's flagship this year because Spider-Man you can argue with Spider-Man, but I consider Spider-Man is made by one of their first-party titles, but Sony don't really own Spider-Man. They're leasing that, so that could go at any time if they find out that they don't want to do partners anymore. But Horizon, I do feel like is the flagship they made this gen. It's a new IP.
Yeah.
It had a fantastic launch. I think it's like an 89 Metacritic. So it was reviewed great. It sold great. So I consider that their flagship. I don't consider God of War because God of War was a reimagining of a previous flagship. Can't have two flagships in two separate generations. Like,
yeah, I'm wondering what Supermassive. Remember Supermassive, the guy who made Until Dawn? Remember that game?
They're making something completely different now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if aren't they making that?
That was a great game too. I think that was one of PlayStation's best games.
Until Dawn? Yeah. Like that style of the game. I actually wanted that to be like a trilogy, like something just dark, gritty. You add more characters to, and what it does is as you progress from the game to game, the people that have like the most likely percentage from the community that have survived carry over, you know what I'm saying, to the other one. It's kind of treated like a movie type of thing, like you remember the Scream movies, the Scream trilogy, the Scream. Treated like that. That'd be cool for Until Dawn if they were to do something like that.
Well, they're currently doing that now with they're about to release their second one, Man of Medan. They got that Witch game coming out. But Man of Medan was a good game, but
I didn't even play it.
It was not even
with the co-op.
It was good because of the co-op feature, but it doesn't even remotely touch Until Dawn. Not even remotely. And Until Dawn was such a well-placed game. Like, to be honest with you, like, that might be my third favorite game this gen. Like, God of War. Now, if we're talking about, like, both generations, Sony got 3 of them, my top 5 this gen. They got my top is obviously God of War, then Persona 5, and then I actually honestly have to say Until Dawn. Like, because Until Dawn, I haven't had it. I'm a huge fan of those narrative focused games that kind of like play like the Telltale games. Now, I do think that the best one that's ever been made is Life is Strange, but Until Dawn for
something thing.
Until Dawn was amazing. Yeah, I love that game. Like, that dumb mini game where you have to keep the controller completely still.
Yeah.
There's so many times.
That chase.
There's so many times
the ghost mask.
Yeah, there were so many times where something happened and it didn't happen. Like, I didn't expect it. I got someone killed because I moved the fucking controller. Like, I remember, like, not Life is Strange. Until Dawn tricked me. Like, they they literally had a scenario where you're trying to save someone, and one of the options was to look for another way, and the other option was to throw something. So, and then it was like another option was just to leave.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I don't want to leave the dude there to die, so I try to do something. They got him killed, and then I went and looked up how to save him. You had to leave, and something else would happen to make it to where you can get him.
You know my favorite one of my favorite ones in there. You remember the dude that you know, like when you're in the watchtower and you find the flare gun. Remember how you have two options? You either shoot the flare gun or you don't shoot the flare gun. And like you fast forward a little bit, you're in the cave and you get grabbed by the Wendigo, by that one guy. He gets grabbed. You don't have the gun if you, depending on whether or not you shot it. I remember I almost survived with him and I got pissed because he died. I was like, oh wow, I fucked up. I should have kept the flare gun.
It was a great game, man. It was really a great game. It's definitely one of the games that I know a lot of people might not see. It's definitely not a console seller, but it's one of those games that's like, yo, if you have a PlayStation, you ain't played Until Dawn, I don't know what the hell you do with.
Facts. Shout out to Beardy. Congrats, bro. Congrats. But yeah, I agree. I like more games like that, right? To just take advantage of a genre, right, and just push something new. I like that. Really, it was definitely a sleeper hit for me. Until Dawn. I guess Days Gone 2 is another one. Looking forward to for next gen. Can't wait to see what that's going to look like with this SSD tech and everything. Assets.
And I think with regardless how bad of a quality the game came out as, you know, they're obviously going to learn from their mistakes. And the game's so pretty good. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they come in and they have a double of a budget. They're like, this game clearly has proven itself. You know, obviously we got ridiculed a little bit in the review department. I mean, didn't review horrible, but you know, it didn't review great either. Not like your typical Sony game. So I honestly think Sony would double their budget. It was like, look, it was clear that the performance and the quality of the game. Here's the money to fix that. Do what you need to make this game make this game a pillar. And I think Ben Studio can too, because they had a lot. I never played Days Gone, but what I seen of it, they had a lot of good perspectives when it come to, you know, that genre, that type of zombie genre. It's just, you know, I think it was probably budgeting that was the issue, and I don't think that's going to be an issue this time, because I think they've proved they can make a AAA title. Might not be the greatest AAA title coming out the gate, but Sony has been known to you know, to give people more money and more time to make a better game later.
Yeah. You said you didn't play it, so you missed out. Yeah, I think you missed. You should definitely go give that game a try. Despite the performance issues, where the game will like stutter a few times when you're on the bike, it's really good, especially when it comes to the horror.
When the game came out, I didn't have a PlayStation at that time. I bought another PlayStation when Final Fantasy VII came out, and then since I already had the PlayStation, I just kept it because Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima was coming out. So I have one now, and I'm just going to play those. And I might play Days Gone before I get rid of it, because I'm getting rid of that shit the moment. Like, probably this time next week, that shit's gone. Like, you know, because there ain't no reason to have it at that point. So
for the record, Addict's going to own the $600 collector's edition of Final Fantasy. He's going to have all the games in there. You know,
man, I remember me and King was like, how much you pay for that? I pay any damn amount. Like, let's go. He definitely trolled me a little bit on that. That was funny. Me and King have epic back and forth on IOP, that's for sure.
Oh boy. Well, let's see how long we've been going here. About an hour, right? Yeah.
An hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, anything you want to ask? Any other question when you get out the way?
No, I think you definitely have a unique perspective when it comes to stuff like this, and I think you need to keep it up, man. Especially the camera adds a flow to it. You know, I definitely fought over the camera thing. I didn't want to do it, and then Cognito just hit me up once. He's like, "Look, King's getting very annoyed. He wants everyone to be on camera," and I was like, "Well, I don't want to be on camera." And he's like, "Well, what's preventing you to be on camera?" I was like, "Well, you know, I live. My brother lives with me, and his clothes are in my room." And I was like, I can't tell my brother he can't come in here 2 to 3 hours a week. Even especially when he's taking. Sometimes he'll come in here in just a towel. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Okay, we get a green screen. What's next?" I'm like, "God damn, I don't really got another excuse. I don't want to be. Is that an excuse? No, that's not an excuse. So when this green screen's coming, you'll be on camera, right?" I was like, "I guess."
Finally caved, huh? Shout out to David and Blaze. They're the ones who really lobbied for me to try this camera thing. So, you know how it is, you know.
I think it's more of a personality. I do think that any kind of criticisms I would have, maybe make the like the Gaming Addict, Lord Addict, Iron Lords podcast thing, and your information, find a way to make that look more natural, because it looks like the background and that's just standing on top of it. It doesn't look like it belongs with the overlay itself. That makes sense to you?
What, for this one?
Yeah.
What, the one that's on the show right now?
Yeah, the one that's I would just find a way to make the text seem more natural to what's going on in the background.
Oh yeah, I just kind of threw that together.
Yeah. Clearly, I was just telling you that.
Yeah.
But besides that, like, I think you got a fun show, man. I think you got a fun show.
All right, appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lord Gaming Addicts, one of the Iron Lords of the Iron Lords podcast. Go ahead, tell them where they can find you, man. All your info's on the screen, but go ahead, shout that channel out.
Definitely, follow me on YouTube, Gaming Addict. I've been putting content out about Halo. I've been putting content about. I'm actually in the middle of making a Fable video. I'm hoping that's going to go up tomorrow. You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. Well, hold on, I have to do it the way King. You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. I am on the Iron Lords podcast every Sunday at 1 p.m. This Sunday we're doing a prediction show. Pretty much, it's going to be, the whole show is going to be themed around what we expect at this Xbox event. So, definitely come through there. We're going to have people like Tim Dog on. We're going to have Ghost on. And we're going to have your very own Kid Smooth is going to be on there. So it's definitely going to be an event. And then we're going to have some people on for the reaction, which I'm not going to go too much into that. And then we have a good show, that post Sunday. We're going to have that too. So keep in mind on that, because that's going to have some interesting people that but it's going to be a good show.
All right. Shout out to everybody who came through. Hit that like button. I got another one-on-one for you guys tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that one. That one's going to happen at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so we'll be back here at 5. And let's see if we can get Kid Smooth on here either this week or probably next week. We'll probably get him on here. So it's going to be interesting.
And I'll be at the reaction show, Ravenflow. He's asking about the reaction show. I've been at every reaction show.
Yeah, you're on every one of them. You heard that Sony's guy, baby? That shit from King.
Oh, Blaze is going to be one of them. He's going to be one of them there.
Oh, he's going to be there? Oh, God.
Yeah. King invited him after the Sony one, because it's got to be fair, man. He's on there to get butchered on the PlayStation 1, and now Blaze can return the favor for the Xbox One.
Yeah, just hope, man. Fingers crossed. Real talk. It's a gamer. Fingers crossed that show blows us away for the Xbox. God knows we need narratives to change. God knows we need something good for Microsoft, something to be excited for going into next gen. And I don't think anybody on here, not even Addict, would disagree. We need as much competition as possible. So
yeah, because competition means better for everyone, man. Better for everyone.
Absolutely. Shout out to you guys, though. Glad you guys came through. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. It was definitely fun. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys again for coming through. Addict, again, salute. Appreciate you coming through. And see you guys tomorrow, man. Appreciate you guys. Later.